Here in part 2 we will be understanding about what is exceptional handling. So let us see this topic about finally keyword in exception handling. There are 5 keywords I have already said in part 1 of exception handling. You can go through that YouTube and you can find it out. For now, about finally keyword in exception handling will be explained in this particular presentation. Okay, Java finally block is a block that is used to execute important code. So in a program, if some block of code is very important, so that block of code should be kept in a finally block, so that it will be executed and it will be the result will be displayed. So Java finally block is always executed whether exception is handled or not. So here we can understand that whatever may be the case, whether exception is handled by using catch block or if it is not handled also, this finally block is always executed. So the important code should be kept in a finally code in order to avoid the problem of exception. Okay, Java finally block follows try or catch block. So here Java finally block is followed by either try block or catch block. The next point is a finally contains all the crucial statements regardless of the exception occurred to it. Okay, occurred or not. A finally contains the crucial statements. Here in the finally block, it will be containing the crucial statements which are very important regardless of the exception occurs or not, whether there is an exception in the program or there is no exception. In both the cases, this finally contains only the statements that are crucial, very important statements should be kept in a finally block. There are 3 possible cases where finally block can be used. First we will see this case 1. When an exception does not raise, in this case the program runs fine without throwing any exception, and finally block executes after the try block. Here in this case, when an exception does not raise, the program will be running smoothly, that is flow of program is maintained normally without throwing any exception. The program runs fine without throwing any exception. So and finally block executes after the try block. So we can say that simply finally block will be executed. So when a try block is preceded by a finally block, it will be executed normally if there is no exception. If there is an exception, then only the problem arises and finally block will be executed in whether the exception is handled or not. Case 2. When the exception raises and handled by the catch block. So whenever in a program, when there is an exception arised and handled by the catch block, in this case the program throws an exception but handled by the catch block, and finally block executes after the catch block. So here is the second case. When there is an exception and that exception is handled by the catch block, we can say that the finally block executes after the catch block, as there is an exception handling process provided in the program by using catch block. We can say that there will be finally block execution after the catch block. There will be no problem in execution of finally block. Case 3. When exception raised and not handled by the catch block. This case is different. Okay, when there is an exception and that exception is not handled by the catch block, so in this case what will happen means the program throws an exception but not handled by catch block. So finally block execute after the try block and after the execution of finally block, program terminates abnormally but finally block executes fine. So we know that the finally block is followed by a try block or a catch block. Okay, so what will happen if there is an exception? If there is an exception and it is not handled, the execution of the code that is kept in finally block will be executed, but program terminates abnormally. Finally block execution will be executed fine. Syntax of finally block. Here in part 1 exception handling, we have used try and catch blocks. In part 2 of exception handling, in this slide, we are using try block, catch block and finally block. So what is the syntax of finally block? It should be followed either by a try block or a catch block. After try and catch blocks, the finally block should be there. So we have to remember one thing, that is try block is followed by finally block or catch block. Catch block is followed by finally block. So syntax of finally block. Here in the try block, within curly braces, you have to use the statements that may cause an exception. Suppose there are 10 lines in a program, 1 to 5 statements will be executed normally. At the statement 5, at that point, if there is an exception, the 6 to 10 lines statements will not be executed because of the exception that raised in the program. So we have to use catch block. Here is the catch block. In catch block, within curly braces, you have to use handling exception. The code related to handling exception should be written in a catch block. After that, finally block. Here, statements to be executed. What are the statements which are very important? Should be placed in finally block. This is the syntax of finally block. It is followed by either try block or catch block. Here there is an example of try and finally blocks. Okay, how to handle was also given in this slide. Let us see this example. Here I have taken a class name as example. Here I have taken main method because we know that the execution part is started only when at the beginning of the main method. So we have to use main method. So in the main method I have used try block. In try block there is an integer type variable number 121 by 0. Here the value is assigned to the variable num. System out.println, the number should be printed by using system.out.println. The value in the variable num is printed. So we can say that there is an exception here. What is that exception? In catch block we have to provide that exception type. So it is an arithmetic exception. So that in catch block we are using arithmetic exception space E is the reference variable. So we are printing a statement within catch block. System out.println, number should not be divided by 0. So here we are printing a statement that is number should not be divided by 0. Okay. So in try block whatever exception is given, that is caught by using catch block and it is handled fine. So we can say that the normal execution of the statements will be maintained. So finally block will always execute even if there is no exception in try block. If there is an exception or not, we are not considering the try block. It's only important code should be the important code should be written in finally block, so that whether there is an exception in try block or not, we can easily execute the important code by keeping that code in finally block. Now here in the finally block we are using this is finally block system out dot println out of try catch finally. Here what we are doing, we are using this system dot out dot println in we are using system dot out dot println in finally block. So this is finally block is printed and the next statement is executed normally. System dot out of try catch and finally statement is printed. So the expected output will be number should not be divided by 0. This is finally block out of try catch finally. So here f is in lower case. F should be in lower case. A simple example of finally block we saw till now. I think everybody has understood how to use finally block. So few important points regarding finally block. A finally block must be associated with a try block. You cannot use finally without a try block. Okay, so after a try block only the finally block should be given in a program. We should take finally block only after the try block, and you should place those statements in this block that must be executed always. Whatever the statements that should be executed, that should be kept in a finally block. The second point is finally block is optional. As we have seen in previous tutorials that a try catch block is sufficient for exception handling. However, if you place a finally block, then it will always run after the execution of try block. So finally block is optional. As we have seen in previous tutorials, that is you might have saw many tutorials, and you might have understood what is finally block. So here in this slide I am explaining about finally block is optional. However, if you place a finally block, then it is always run after the execution of try block. Okay. So in last slide I have explained about how to use finally block. It is optional, it is not compulsory. So here if you place a finally block, then it will always run, it will be executed. Whatever code is given in finally block, it will be executed. The code which should be always executed should be kept in a finally block. So the third point, in normal case when there is no exception in the try block, then the finally block is executed. So when there is no exception in the try block, then the finally block is executed after the try block. However, if an exception occurs, then the try block is executed before finally block. So if there is an exception, then the catch block is executed before finally block. If there is an exception in the try block, first the catch block will be executed before the finally block. After handling that exception only, we have to give finally block. So first catch block will be executed and then next finally block will be executed. The fourth point, an exception in the finally block behaves exactly like any other exception. So an exception in the finally block, if there is an exception in the finally block, it behaves exactly like any other exception. So for that also we need to write code that should be handled. The code related to exception handling should be written to caught the exception in finally block. The statement present in the finally block execute even if the try block contains control transfer statements like return, break or continue. The control transfer statements are return statement, break statement or continue statement. So the statements present in the finally block executes even if the try block contains control transfer statements. If in a try block there are control transfer statements also, uh, uh, we have to know that the statements present in finally block will be executed. Let's see an example to see how finally works when return statement is present in try block. Example of finally block and return statement. Even though we have return statement in the method, the finally block still runs. Even though we have a return statement in the method, there is a return statement in one method in the program. Even if there is a return statement also, the finally block still runs. That is, it will run smoothly. That is, the normal flow is maintained in the try block. The flow of execution of the instructions in a try block will be having an error or without having an error. If there is any return statement also, or if there is an exception also, the final block still runs. This is the about finally block. Here is the program. Let's see this program. Class Java finally. The class name is Java finally, and the main method with no arguments is taken. In that, within curly braces, you have to print Java finally dot my method. Okay, here by using class name we are using my method. So public static int my method. So in this we have declared a method called my method. Within parenthesis try block is used. So return 112. Here there is a return statement. The point here is there is a return statement in a try block. Even then the finally block is executed. So the expected output will be this is finally block. Finally block ran even after return statement. So whatever statements were given in the finally block will be executed even if there is an exception or there is no exception. That is why here the finally block is executed and the statements are printed. So you have to remember that here the return statement, even if there is an existing return statement in a try block, the normal flow of a code given in finally block will be maintained. Try catch finally block. Either a try statement should be associated with a catch block or with finally. So either a try statement should be associated with a catch block or with finally. So we have to remember that either a try block should be associated with a catch block or with finally block. After a try statement, there should be a catch block or there should be a finally block. The second point is, since each catch performs exception handling and finally performs the cleanup, the best approach is to use both of them. So here, since catch performs exception handling and finally performs the cleanup, the best approach is to use both of them. If we use both the state blocks, like that is catch block and finally block, that is the best approach. Here is the syntax. Here is one more example given, and the exception is handled in catch block. The exception type name is array index out of bounds exception, and the finally block is given after the catch block. Expected output: first statement of try block and 15 will be printed, then finally block statement will be printed, then out of try catch finally block is printed. So this is all about the examples for finally block and how to use try, catch and finally blocks in a single program. I think everybody has understood. Thank you all for listening.